With the 15th pick and with the 26th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dwayne Haskins, Montez Sweat.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sister. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Luke. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. So, a lot of news regarding Trent Williams and where he'll end up of late. And I wanted to come on and talk to you about a different angle to this because, you know, everyone's covered the Trent Williams given permission to seek trade angle. Everyone's talking about that ad nauseum. So I didn't feel the need to do that. And we've already discussed that here on this program multiple times, that eventually trade is going to become the option that is the only resolution to this Trent Williams situation. We're not going to release him, obviously. I don't think he plans on playing under the non-guaranteed $12 million that he has slated to be earned this season. And I don't anticipate him getting a long-term deal if the numbers that he's seeking that reportedly has been floated out there from his camp are true. He's not getting that from the Redskins. So trade was the only option that I believe was going to take place here. Now, it's just a matter of who and when. And so that's more of what I want to focus on is the who, the when, the where, why, and how. So if you're the Redskins, let me ask you guys this first and foremost. Leave this in the comment section, okay? Among other things that I'm going to ask you to leave in the comment section. What do you think is fair compensation for Trent Williams? All right. What do you think the Redskins should receive in return for Trent Williams in a deal? All right. So that's what I want to know from you guys first and foremost. I'm going to give you my answer right now, and then we're going to move on to another angle here. But look, the first round Trent Williams compensation, to me, that ship has sailed. All right, we missed that opportunity last year during the trade deadline when we had an opportunity to move this guy. And even then, I don't know if we were going to get a first, but it was more realistic then when teams thought they had a shot in 2019 to win a chip than now when it's the offseason. Teams are staring at fresh offensive line prospects coming into the league, which are going to cost you a lot less. It's just not feasible in my mind to get a one for Trent. But does the conversation for Trent start at a one if you're the Redskins? Absolutely. All right. The worst they can say is no. Okay. But you got to ask, and you don't know until you ask. So you got to ask for one. And I've talked about this in negotiations. You never actually ask for what you want right up front. All right. You always go a step higher in hopes that they talk you down right into your comfort zone, right into where you were looking to get your compensation all the time. So if you're the Redskins, the target goal should be a 2. That's what I think is fair compensation. That's what the Redskins want. They said they're looking for fair compensation for Trent. If that is in fact the case, to me, a 2 is fair compensation for Trent Williams at this juncture of his career and what he's going to be able to provide for you moving forward potentially. And it also takes another need off the board. So here's my thing, because I've read a lot of comments by Redskins fans talking about, I want Arizona's first. I want the Jets first. Oh, I want the Dolphins first. Oh, I want this team's first. I want Cleveland's first. Like, okay, whoa. Calm down. Nobody's giving you a first for Trent Williams. Okay, stop. All right, that's number one. This is the thought process. If I'm Cleveland, if I'm Arizona, if I'm the Jets, all right, all three of these teams need offensive line help to protect a young signal caller that they've spent high draft capital on. All right. Of these teams, 2 out of the 3 have spent number 1 overall picks on quarterbacks. And the third team spent like the number 3 or 4 overall pick on Sam Darnold. So what I'm basically saying to you is these are quarterbacks that have been heavily invested in. All right. They need to be protected up front. So if I'm one of these teams and I'm looking at the potential of getting me a young guy in the draft, but potentially missing out on another elite prospect, it's very intriguing to think to myself, I'm going to have to pay Trent Williams, but guess what? I could end up getting myself in the case of, let's just throw the Jets out there. Hey, I could get me a Jerry Jeudy, or I could get me a CeeDee Lamb at number 9 or wherever the Jets are in this draft. All right. I could go in a different direction instead of me passing on one of those guys to take a tackle because I need to protect Sam Darnold. I could get Trent Williams, pay him, and then get an elite prospect at a different position that I desperately need. All right. And the Jets have holes everywhere. So they need good football players everywhere. So that's just a thought process. I'm not giving you my one because I've got a chance to get something elite, even if that means I have to spend it on an offensive lineman, so be it. But I've got a chance to get something elite in the top 10. So I'm not giving you my first round pick. But what I will do is give you my second, because that will free me up to not have to feel as desperate to grab an offensive lineman and now spend that pick on another position. Or you could even double up. All right, double up, on the tackle position and say, you know what? Got Trent. Now I can get the other bookend tackle, and boom, I'm set at offensive line. Now I can spend the rest of my draft focusing on fixing other positions. Same thing with the Cardinals. Look, they re-signed DJ Humphries. They're not done along the offensive line. They could use Trent Williams, but I'm not giving you number 8. I'm not giving you number 10. All right, if I'm the Cardinals, I'm not giving you my first round pick. But what I will do is I'll give you my second round pick, all right? That will allow me to not have to draft a tackle in the first round. Now that allows me to go get a weapon for Kyler Murray. That allows me to now go get a CeeDee Lamb or a Jerry Jeudy for Kyler Murray. And if I'm the Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray's probably say, hey, CeeDee, go get CeeDee. Go get CeeDee. That's my guy, all right? And if that's the guy that he makes the best music with and that's the guy you're the most comfortable with in your system, then CeeDee Lamb is yours right there. And now all of a sudden your offense can take that next step. Now you've got the protection up front for Kyler Murray. Now you've got the weaponry to go out and make some plays. You re-sign Kenyon Drake, and all of a sudden now you got a dynamic offense in Arizona. So that's the thought process. If you're Cleveland, Baker Mayfield was running for his life last year. They've got all the parts out there, running back, tight end, receiver. They've got all that stuff covered. They don't really need any of that stuff right now as it stands. Their offensive line is in shambles. It's trash. They need to upgrade that in the worst way, right after a long day. All right. The first way I would go about that is go get Trent Williams, and you can give up the second round pick. And now you can go and fix another part of your football team that may be hurting. And maybe you just stay on the offensive line and say, we got Trent, we're going to double down on the offensive line, take Tristan Wirfs and slide him inside the guard, and all of a sudden now you got a dominant side of the offensive line. Or you say, all right, you stay at tackle, but I'm going to put you at right tackle, put Trent at left tackle, and now you got your bookend tackles. So just a little bit of food for thought. If I'm one of those teams, first round pick's not even in the discussion, which if I'm the Redskins, I don't think I'm getting a first round pick, but I'm going to ask because I'm hoping that first round pick gets them to say, hey, I give you a second though, which is exactly what I want. And I'm going to tell you right now, to me, there's only 3 teams I want to talk to about trading Trent. I know a lot of you are saying, bruh, don't be greedy, all right? If Houston calls you and says, hey, I got a second, it's a late second, but I got a second, I'll give you it to get Trent Williams, which I find it hard to believe that after trading for Laramie Tunsil last year, and I know he wants a bunch of money, but that's a guy you should be comfortable with now, and you traded for him, and then drafting 2 guys last year in the draft very highly, I find it hard to believe that Houston would be in the market for yet again another tackle. I don't see that happening, but I don't want their pick anyway. You tell me that they're going to give me the 57th pick, and I know some of you saying, bro, you being greedy. It's a second. We don't have one. I hear you. But if you want fair compensation for Trent Williams, 57 is not it. 57 for me, hell, I might as well be in the 3rd round with that pick. You're 7 picks away from the 3rd round. I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. I want either the Jets, the Cardinals, or the Browns' 2nd round pick. You got the Jets at 48. Right in the middle of the 2nd round. I'd like to be higher. Personally, Arizona at 40 or Cleveland at 41. Those are the ones that I'm staring at. All right. Those are the teams I'm really trying to do business with. Cleveland seems to be the one that makes the most sense because Bill Callahan, the Redskins' ex-offensive line coach and ex-interim head coach, is very familiar and has a great working relationship with Trent Williams. Not to say that really makes any bit of a difference. Bill Callahan isn't pulling any weight over there. He may have a little bit of input. They may ask him his opinion on Trent Williams and is he worth it. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have a very large voice and say in what goes on in Cleveland, but Trent Williams may think that's a really good destination for me. I really love Bill Callahan, and maybe he'll be willing to, and I doubt this, because again, where he goes, who he's working with, probably going to be factored in very smallly. It's going to be a minute detail in terms of his contract, because the guy's just looking to get paid. Bottom line, end of discussion. But at the end of the day, I could care less what he thinks, what he wants to do. If Arizona or Cleveland are willing to give up that second round pick for Trent Williams, which I think is really fair compensation at this point. We missed the first round boat. Here's an opportunity to recoup a second. We don't currently have a second. We've talked about Ron Rivera's comments about how not having a second round pick is a burden. You got a chance to get one back here. And I told you, if they trade Trent, it's going to be prior to the draft, because they want to be able to reap the benefits of trading Trent right now. Because even if you say you get a third in this draft from the Trent Williams trade, and you can't net that second, all right, maybe that second is a little too elusive for you. Maybe you got to package up both your thirds, the initial third that you had as your pick and the third you get from whatever team you trade Trent to. Maybe you got to package those 2 3s up to move up and get you a 2. That may be what you ultimately have to do to get the guy that you want. And so I don't know how this whole thing is going to work. I don't know how this thing is going to transpire. But if I'm the Redskins, I'm after Arizona and Cleveland's too. And as a fallback plan, the Jets aren't out of the discussion. They need help everywhere. They got to protect Sam Darnold. And they seem like a team that would be desperate enough to give up a second round pick to protect Sam Darnold. I wouldn't want to go back any further than the 48th pick with the Jets. But again, beggars can't be choosers. If Houston picked up the phone, which I do not see happening after they traded for Laramie Tunsil last year, they have to pay him money. And if they don't want to pay him, maybe they decide to pay Trent. But they went after Laramie Tunsil maybe after they called Trent. They called the Redskins first, if you recall. But it doesn't matter. He's the younger option. He may not be the better option, but he's the younger option, and he's probably the cheaper option as well. If the numbers that we're hearing out of Trent's camp potentially are true, then he's the younger and cheaper option. I just don't see the Texans even really being in this equation. But again, I'll take 48 from the Jets. I'll take 41 from the Browns. I'll take 40 from Arizona if they're offering. To me, that's the route you should be going if you're the Redskins. Asking for one the entire time, thinking I want a 2, hoping you get that 2, and you can flip that into potentially a replacement for Trent Williams moving forward. So we'll see what happens. To me, this is fascinating stuff. It needs to get done really before the draft. It'd be nice if it happened before free agency. That'd be even better, because look, there's not a lot out there. And with the news that Jason Peters is now available, and that's something else I want you guys to comment in. And I might even do a video on that, as a matter of fact. I'm going to do a video on that, so you can save your comments. I'm going to do another video pretty much asking you, should the Redskins get Jason Peters or not? That, to me, that's a fascinating discussion there. Another, Band-Aid solution like we had last year with Donald Penn. Another one has been offered up. Will he want to come here? Again, Jason Peters up there in age. I think at this point, if he still wants to play, it's all about the payday now. He's won a ring with the Eagles, so that's not a big issue for him probably at this point of his career. Just trying to cash in once more before he ultimately decides to hang it up. And I think realistically, he could end up back in Philadelphia if the price is right, if they incur injury or something like that. But, I mean, they drafted a guy in Andre Dillard to take his spot. Andre Dillard is now ready to play. I think that's why they're ready to move on from him. Thought he was going to retire and ride off into the sunset. And he decided, you know what? I think I got a little bit left in the tank. And I know I got another payday coming if I decide to play. So I think I'm going to play again. And the Eagles are like, we really would have preferred it if you retired. So, go ahead and hit free agency. We'll see what happens. So I'll do another video real quick on that. But in any event, leave your comments down below in the comment section. What is your compensation for Trent Williams? And what is the best solution to this problem? What do you think is the best outcome for the Redskins? They're not getting a first round pick. If that's your answer, knock yourself out. To me, it's not even up for discussion. If I'm any team out there, there's no way you're getting a first round pick for Trent Williams. And honestly speaking, if I'm a team out there, I'm probably not even trying to give you my 2. Preferably, I'd like to slide you this 3 and tell you to keep it moving. But if you're the Redskins, you want fair compensation. Remember, the Redskins technically, again, don't have to do anything. Now, you don't want this situation to turn toxic. We've already talked about if you don't want to be here, let's get these guys out of here. Obviously, Trent doesn't want to be here. Rivera has made it abundantly clear. If you don't want to be here, cool, I'll help you get out of here. Well, he's trying to get Trent out of here, and they want him gone, but at what expense? You can't be too desperate to the point where teams smell your desperation and they're like, you don't have a choice, man. Either you're going to have to cut this man or you're going to have a problem on your hands. I'm going to give you this 3. Take it or leave it. You don't want teams to box you in a corner. So you got to play it cool like, hey, man, we straight it either way. Either you slide us this deuce or we good. We'll hold on to him. All right? We straight either way. So you got to play it cool like, hey, we got options. We got options. But if teams smell your desperation, you're cooked. So we'll see what the Redskins do. Leave it down in the comment section, though. Can't wait to hear from you guys. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. We will chat soon. Obviously, we got a lot to talk about. Wednesday, we'll do another live stream, so look forward to that. It'll be a big one, too, because it'll be the precursor to free agency, and things will start to heat up this week. You'll start to hear a lot more rumors about free agency as the week progresses, and maybe we'll have a resolution to this Trent Williams situation. Who's to say? But nonetheless, I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. Much more to come on this and other Redskins topics. You guys stay tuned, like the video, subscribe to the Louie T Network if you haven't already done so. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Louie T Network.